Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
The frustration that you're feeling is the fact that we do not have the funds to address this. We can't call 911 to address this because this is 911.
The only way to beat that,
to understand what's really going on is to understand that we do not have the funds to make things possible for those who are dealing with mental illness and may not even know. Walter Wallace was killed in front of his home.
Right now, this space is being held for the fight for human rights, and we have to understand that unity is not displayed. Unity is not displayed by the NYPD. Unity is not displayed by the NYPD, and letting someone stand in the middle of the street against their own safety. This person is also part of our community. This person also needs resources. The example of the failing of this city, the failing of the NYC budget is right in front of us. We ask you to please give us our space here. Sir, please. So what I was saying before, NYPD, because I didn't see you put on any helmets or anything for anything, understand that this is a fight. This is a fight for the reallocation of resources. The reallocation of resources. And don't put your hands on him, NYPD, because you know you're not equipped for that either. This is for you to understand that right now you are ready to arrest a group of people that are fighting for resources to be distributed into their communities. We're fighting for better education, livable housing. I met a man at our march today, and he said that because of COVID, his housing situation, he was an unhoused person, his housing situation was taken from him, and he was not allowed to go back. And since then, he's had to experience the inhumane living conditions of homeless shelters, where there are no longer, because of COVID, wellness checks, where people literally OD in their rooms. How can you sit by here with armor that taxpayers have paid for and not see the problem right in front of you? The money that you're taking away from our communities. Abolition is about creation. Creating a new world and not replicating a systematically racist system. That is your foundation. That is the foundation of what your uniform is paid for. And some of the officers that are listening, because I know it's not all of you, take a look at your higher-ups. Take a look at your white shirts. How they laugh and converse between each other. How they don't listen to the people that they're allegedly protecting. Where we are peacefully demonstrating and they pull out the LRAD. To what? Arrest us and beat us just to give us a ticket? To arrest us for standing in a roadway? Is that where our money is going? Is that what makes you feel tough, NYPD? Is that what makes you feel tough, McCarthy? Is that what makes you feel tough, Irizarry? Where you won't even listen to the people that you're supposed to be protecting? We want to abolish you. Abolish you. So that we actually start treating our human crisis at the root. Get people education, fair education for everyone. Fair housing for everyone. The access to food. And we are showing you every single day that we can do it without you. We are erecting community fridges around Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Harlem to show you that we don't need you to take care of our own communities. We don't need you to feed our communities. We protect us because you're here to attack us. Now, when you come out here every day and suppress peaceful protesters and people exercising their First Amendment right, what crime are you preventing? Now, specifically to the bike cops, those in armor, what is your job? What do you actually do? Because all I've ever seen you do is beat the shit out of me. That's all I've ever seen you do. I don't see these bike cops showing up in the hood when there's a problem. I don't see your armor tending to real violence that you're not equipped to tend to. So you tell me, you ask yourself, what the hell are you here for? What the hell are we paying for with you being here? In your cute little motocross outfits. You guys are riding bikes. As are we. You answer it to yourself. What are you doing here? Why are you armored up for a bunch of peaceful protesters that have zero arms? Shame! 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 The SRG unit was started for counterterrorism. But now, you guys are specifically assigned to protest.
And you terrorize.
And you terrorize. So maybe hit yourself with a fucking baton.
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe. But seriously, I've only seen you guys when you're pinning my face against the cement. When you're throwing your bike into my back. When you're further fucking up my physical health. So what do you guys actually do? Are you guys the ones sitting around in a patrol car all day not doing nothing? You get the call for a protest and you're like, mount up. Let's go fuck up some innocent people. What are y'all actually here for? What is all this armor for? What are your riot shields for? Do you feel comfortable that you guys have all this protection against civilians? And there are people in our neighborhoods that still haven't recovered from COVID-19, that still haven't had PPE distributed to them, that don't have health care, that don't have the resources to actually treat their traumas, incarcerated folk that have been decarcerated and have zero opportunities in this world. It is because you have trained to see us as inhumane, as not human. The only way you've been taught to uphold the law is through brutality. When you speak, we can't speak. No. Not no more. Not no more. Because we will fight to defund and divest and abolish the NYPD. And it will be done. And it will be done. Because just before this march started, we talked to some of you. I said, will you let us march and not agitate us? It doesn't seem like you guys are doing that. So how can we ever trust you? How could I ever forget walking out my building every day and seeing an NYPD car there for what? To quote unquote keep me safe. From who? You guys aren't treating anything in our communities. You guys are hurting our communities. And this is a fight to not only abolish you, but for you to understand that what you're doing is harmful. How can you go home after a night like this? How can you go home back to your families after a night like this? Where people stand in front of you and are pleading for resources into their communities, and you're ready to throw us to the ground and put us in jail and detain us for 18, 24 hours just because we're organizers and we're protesters. And then you don't care to ask anyone their pronouns or how they identify, and you throw a trans woman in jail with all cis men and not understand how harmful that could be.
Tell them about the minor they left us with.
Oh. Tell them about the what? The minor. The minor. Two of them.
When we were in jail, when you locked us up at Times Square, where all we did is take the street and attack by both sides by 50 police officers, they held 40 men in a holding cell with 2 minors. 40 grown men in a holding cell with 2 minors. That's illegal. You guys refuse to give us water. That's illegal. We told them to please give the women in the cell water, and they didn't until we didn't stop harassing them. These 2 minors, once the people in the cell found out, we pleaded to the police. This is illegal. This is harmful. This is traumatic. They turned their backs. They kept those minors in the cell. So what I ask you is to quit your jobs.
I do it all the time.
Quit your jobs and become whistleblowers, because there's no such thing as a good cop that goes to work in the morning and hears about the shit that all the bad cops do and still comes out every day and terrorizes. Quit your job. Quit your jobs. Quit your job. Quit your job. Quit your job.
Quit your job. Quit your job.
We are on the right side of history, y'all.
They're on the
Everyone
right side.
behind these bikes